Hello and welcome to the TELPAS Progress Monitoring video. This video will teach teachers how to enter in the ratings, look to see who still needs ratings, and how to view the data. The video is also for principals and administrators who want to see who still needs ratings entered and how to view the TELPAS Progress Monitoring data, also known as TPM. In order to get started, we need to log into Edaphoria Aware. There's several different ways that you can get to this landing page, but one of the easiest is to use the BISD homepage, go to Quick Links, scroll down to Edaphoria, and then choose Continue to Edaphoria Login. And as you log in, you'll see that orange screen with a picture of Eddie the cat on the side. Your username and password is exactly the same as you would use to log into your BISD email address. So do not use the @bisd.us portion as you log in. So after you've logged into Aware, you'll see a landing page that looks something like this. Choose Aware. And for teachers, you'll see Test Available and a listing of your courses. After you choose Test Available, the type of test that you're going to be administering is a district assessment. The default is My Teacher Test, so you need to choose District Assessments. We are working on a student inventory, which is what the TPM is. And you can see that I made a mock test for this that says, please do not use practice for ARE, data will be deleted. When you choose your assessment to enter in the ratings, it will say something more along the lines of TELPAS Progress Rating for the fall 2018-19 first 6 weeks, and then the grade level. After you see that listed, you're going to click on that blue arrow and then choose the courses that you want to rate. You can choose one or all of them. I suggest choosing all of them that are listed there because that will be an easier way for you to see all of your kids and rate them all at once. And then you're going to choose on Enter Answers. After you clicked on Enter Answers on the screen prior, you'll see a listing of your students that's off screen for this video because they're a listing of real students and I wanted to protect those students' identities. But you will highlight a student and then enter in their 4 ratings: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. You can change the date and then enter in an overall score as well. For the student that I'm entering in this mock data for, I'm going to choose Advanced for the overall rating. I changed the date, and then I'm going to add in a proficiency level of 1 through 4, 1 being beginner, 2 being intermediate, 3 being advanced, and 4 being advanced high. And just so that you can see how this works, I'm going to enter in a 1, tab, 2, tab, 3, tab, 4, tab. You can see that entering in those ratings was very, very fast. You'll notice that over here, once I entered in these 4 ratings, that the word level of the proficiency showed up to the right. And then after I enter in those ratings, I need to click on Save. That saves it for this child. And then you will notice off to the right, which you cannot see, but the icon for the student turned into a green check mark. For the next child, I'm just going to highlight the next child that needs a rating entered, the one that qualifies to take a TELPAS, and this child I'm going to give an intermediate to, and I'm going to enter in his or her ratings, and then click on Save, and again I'll notice that the student icon turns to a green check mark. After you've entered in your ratings, teachers are going to want to see the data as well as administrators. And some of you are going to be wondering, okay, am I missing some students for my campus or for my classroom? Teachers, on the Analyze tab, you will see a listing of your courses, and below your courses you will see All My Students. I recommend you click on All My Students, but you can drill down course by course. Administrative users, I recommend that you go to Quick Views. So either click Quick Views or All My Students, and then you'll see some local assessments, some state assessments. You're going to want to continue looking until you see Student Inventory and continue drilling until you see the data from the assessment that you just completed. You notice I opened up Reading. There's no 1819, so I know that that's the wrong folder. So when I open up English Language Arts, there's an 1819. I continue drilling down. There's ninth grade, and then there's the name of this silly mock assessment that we're working on right now. You obviously would choose the student inventory that was appropriate for what you just entered data in for. The report will appear on screen as soon as you've drilled down to the student inventory that you wanted to see the data for. Again, this is real students, real teachers, and a real campus, but mock data. So this data will, and this assessment will be deleted as soon as this recording is complete. Off screen to the left, what you cannot see are headers that are named and data that is listed, student name, local ID, and some other demographic information. And then we have the listening, reading, speaking, writing proficiencies, and then the overall proficiencies. Off to the upper left-hand corner off screen is a button that you can click for printing out the data to Excel or to PDF. And all users have this available if they have access to the student data. On this bar up here, it says student scores. If we want to see information on who is pending a rating being entered, we choose TELPAS Progress Monitoring. And now we have off screen on the header, student name, local ID, the campus, and then the LEP status. We have the same proficiency rating information, but over here to the right we have the course or courses that are linked to this particular student in this progress monitoring task. And then off screen to the right, we have the listing of the teacher of record for those particular courses. Right now, as we see, it looks like all of this data has been entered already for these students, but as I scroll down my list, and I could certainly filter by clicking on one of these, you'll notice that this particular LEP child does not have data entered. If we were able to look off to the right, we would see the teacher that needs to enter in that particular data. Again, you want to make sure that you're entering data only for students that will be taking the TELPAS test. And if you're not sure who is taking the TELPAS test on your class roster, that is a discussion that you need to have with your CTC or your bilingual administrator. As an administrative user, I went directly from the TELPAS progress monitoring report that I was looking at to see who was pending ratings and who had ratings already entered, and I clicked on the edit icon on the upper left hand corner of my screen. When I did that, 3 tabs opened up for me, and it's showing me what was used to build this report that you're looking at. On the Tables tab, the one assessment or student inventory that we're looking at is this mock data that will be deleted from the first 6 weeks. On the Columns tab, which is what are you asking for in the columns of your student information, the all scores and overall rating that were entered in for the children, and then the LEP status, and then the current course, instructor, and campus. The only thing different about this report is on the bottom of this Columns tab, this box was checked off to include the students who were not scored. In other words, on this report for the BISD TELPAS Progress Monitoring, I wanted everyone to see who did not yet have a rating. Let's suppose, though, that we want to do some analysis of those students that did have the ratings entered. In other words, I'm assuming that the first 6 weeks is over, that window is closed, no one is able to enter in ratings anymore, and so I'm going to put this back at the default, which is to include students only that had a score. And on the Tables tab, I already have this one student inventory, but let's suppose that I want to compare this 6 weeks from this current school year to last year's first 6 weeks. On the left of where these tables are, or where the tests are several folders that have different assessment information in them. You can see I'm scrolling past some local tests, some state tests, and then towards the bottom is a folder that has a plus sign and is called Student Inventory. In Edaphoria, anytime there's a plus sign, that means that there's more information to be found. So I'm going to click on that plus sign and scroll down, and you'll notice then that I have several years worth of data. Again, another plus sign by 2018-19, which is only the information that I'm looking at right now currently, because the year hasn't really officially started. So I'm going to pull over from last year, the 9th through 12 as well. So I'm opening up this folder, and I'm going to drag over last year's first 6 weeks. In order to do that, I'm going to highlight that 6 weeks and drag it over. I can choose any order that I want for these assessments, but the order that I have them listed in is the order in which I'm going to see them. So I want to see last year's data before this year's data. That's just a personal preference. I'm on the Columns tab. I already deselected this. I only want those kiddos that have a score. And then on the Summarize tab, I'm going to leave what's there, but I'm going to pull over from the Demographics folder the grade level that the child is in. And also, I want to, instead of seeing the information with percentages that says the report would show me 13% of my students are beginners out of the 120 that tested or so on, if I deselect that, now my report will show me the number of students that were scored beginner. And then I would choose Update, and I would see the report that I created. Both teachers and administrative users on the upper right hand portion of your screen have some icons, and as you toggle over those icons when it's live, it will tell you what those individual icons do. If you want to see the data where the students are now or where they were, if you want a district summary, a campus summary, a student summary, etc. So please take a look at those icons on the upper left hand portion of your screen. Thank you for your time. The TELPAS Progress Monitoring is a joint effort between the Assessment Department and the Bilingual Department. For questions on AWARE and entering your student ratings into AWARE and taking a look at the data afterwards or seeing who is pending, please contact ARE, and please contact the Bilingual Department for questions about the testing itself. What do you use for the assessment, or how do you holistically rate, and the timeline of when you enter in information and so forth. Have a great school year. Look forward to an exciting 2018-2019, and again, feel free to contact either the assessment department or bilingual department. We are here to serve you. Thank you.